brand new headline from Fox News that the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled in favor of the Trump administration with the ongoing effort to cut in half of all the staff of near 1,400 employees of the Federal Department of Education. And that, my friends, is a major victory for us because that is one step closer towards shutting down completely the Department of Education. Now, as usual, the media, they completely misguide you and completely put it into wrong context because the Congress themselves needs to end the Department of Education, but if it's just a shell of an organization that doesn't need the money we're appropriating to it, that's when we can shut it down. But in order to get to that point, we have to actually make it null and void and make it irrelevant. So we're cutting, and they can send the money, they can appropriate all the money they want to, but the Trump administration, the executive branch that oversees these agencies, this fourth branch of government that's under the purview of the executive branch, they are the ones that get to decide how the operations actually run on a daily basis. And they decide to cut 1,400 employees out of the Department of Education, cutting it in half after the victory with the High Court between the McMahon and State of New York issue, where they ended up winning 6-3 along ideological lines, where more than 20 different Democrat-led states had tried to fight to say you cannot cut employees from the Department of Education. And the Supreme Court said, yeah, you kind of can. The executive branch can do whatever they want to with the Department of Education. You can cut those by half. Later on, you can cut more until there's literally Linda McMahon, the secretary for the Department of Education. And she's the only one left. She doesn't need the multi-billions of dollars that go into that agency, and then Congress can say, well, they're not doing anything anyways. It's a shell of an organization. Now DOJ can come in, we can cut it, we can do a rescission bill, and we can officially shut down the Department of Education. So you know what, Karen Bass, I am with you. We need to fight against the federal government. We need to stop their overbearing utopia against the states and the local communities. Let's end the utopia that the federal government has had on our public education system that has ruined our public education system, and let's bring it back down to a statewide level. Let's create different school choice programs. Let's create school voucher programs. Let's make schooling great again, and that doesn't involve the federal government and their Department of Ed. So good on you, Karen Bass. You keep educating them about how we should be more independent away from the control and the ruling of the federal government.